No tracks up this mountain. Just punching it straight up through the scrub. Hard work, but it's gonna be worth it. We're just following the edge of this creek until a good point where we can branch off the creek and follow a decent slope to get up on that ridge line. Because if we don't fork off the creek at the right spot, we'll hit a point where it's just way too steep to try and climb up. One of the best parts about this creek that we're walking up is the water is just absolutely crystal clear, pristine water. And that's basically the entirety of our water source for this mission. We just branched off the creek back there, and now we're working our way up onto the ridge line. The creek was our last source of water for the next couple of hours until we get about, say, 2/3 or 3/4 of the way up the mountain. And there's another little spot in a valley we can get down into and fill up again. Bit thick. Jeez. We're starting to well and truly get up onto the ridgeline now. And as you can see, we're starting to get a pretty good view. Ridgeline from here on out is just nice and open. Views all around. As we go up, these views are only going to get better and better. Just made it to our second milestone of the trip this weekend, and as you can see, the views are starting to get absolutely mad up here. But as I keep saying, they're only going to get better. But once you get to here, it feels like you've gone a fair way up, but then you turn around and you realize still how far we got to go. So in reality, this is probably only about halfway. Come down into a bit of a saddle, and now we're going up this really steep incline. So it's going to be a bit of a slog for the next half an hour or an hour, just going up this sharp incline. Once we get on top of that, then we'll be at the third milestone, which will be our water source, and we'll be able to fill up our water again. Well and truly getting up there now. Oh yeah. So here we are right up in this mountain, and there's this beautiful little creek stream running right up here. Perfect little stream of water there. Crystal clear. so fucking cold too. Now we just got to work our way back out of this valley that we're down in to get the water back up to where we left our packs. We're going to pull up there and have a bit of lunch before we move on to the fourth and final milestone, which will be our camp for the night. Just pulled up for lunch here. How good's this view? Not many better spots to pull up and have a feed. This is so good. This falls that we're heading over to camp at tonight, it's like a very hidden waterfall. It's unnamed, totally off the grid, and I've known about it for probably 2 years. I found it on Satellite Imagery, and because it's so high up the mountain, you can't really access it from walking up the creek. It's just too hard, it's too far. The best way to access it is by actually hiking up the mountain and then following a ridge down to it, which is exactly what we're doing. But I'm proper keen to get there and suss it out, because I've had this waterfall in my mind, like visualizing it, wondering if it's even any good, because it's always hard to tell on satellite. You get the gist of the idea, like you can kind of see if it has potential, which it does, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be like a really good falls or a really big falls. It could be pretty small and not that good, but we're going to find out. And either way, even if it's not that good of a falls, there's definitely a few water holes there, so I'm hoping they will line up for like a sick infinity pool shot, and also it's just somewhere to jump in and have a swim after doing a big mission all day. Just coming down the ridge line on the other side of the mountain now, following it down to that spot we're going to camp tonight. It's next level over here as well. It's not as good as the other side, but it's still so good over here. It's almost like this secret little hidden hinterland up in here. It's just all these like rolling hills with jagged rocks sticking out everywhere and random like cliff faces on the edge of them and that. It's friggin' awesome. I'm loving this. Like just this hidden oasis up in the mountains, totally off the grid. No trails, no people, no sounds. Even the sound is just silence. Literally all you can hear is just this faint sound of wind, the odd bird, and the odd insect. Alright, we've made it to this waterfall spot. It's pretty sick, like epic little spot hidden up in the mountains. Check out this for a sick little infinity pool spot. Water hole. Nice little waterfall, and then it drops down there. And just before I was standing over there looking down into that little canyon bit, like this here, like on sunrise or sunset, chilling down in that water hole or standing there looking out through that valley. Such a cool little spot. I don't know if we'll definitely stay here and camp the night. Pretty tempted with that lineup, like that looks sick, but we think there might potentially be better spots to camp further down the creek, so we're just going to go up, get a better vantage point, and then make a decision from there. We're thinking that this spot here with this infinity pool is definitely the best spot to stay at. We're having a bit of a hard time trying to find a camp spot for tonight. So we're just gonna keep walking around until we settle on a spot. There's a few spots that are like last resort options, but we're just trying to find something that's a bit better. About to jump in for a swim in this infinity pool. It's gonna be fucking freezing, but it'll be worth it. Holy! Woo! Woo! Holy shit. I knew that was gonna be cold. That was about 10 times colder than I thought it was. My whole body was numb. Far out, it's worth it though. I feel so refreshed right now. Best part about this trip is we don't have to like get up in the morning and rush to the next spot, or get up in the morning and just, you know, pack and start heading home. We don't really have any time schedules to be anywhere. We're just gonna take our time and just enjoy it. Unfortunately, we've had to pack up and we're heading off to our next camp for tonight. We've got to head back up this ridge, right up near the summit again, and then cut across diagonally and head back down the mountain on the side we come up. And there's a couple of spots there we got in mind to camp. Not sure exactly which one we're going to camp at yet. We're just going to kind of wing it as we go and make that decision when we get there. Just got our water supply for tonight and also tomorrow morning. Where we've got to collect our water from, it's not in the most easiest spot to get to. You got to scramble down some really steep terrain down into this little valley ravine type thing. And yeah, so getting in and out of there, bit of a challenge, but it's still incredible that we got that water supply right here up on this mountain near a good spot to camp with an incredible view. So super grateful for that.